Okay, today's Grow Joe, we're going to talk about some fruit. As you can see in front of us, there is a black currant. Now, you've seen these plants before. I'll just go in on the black currants. There you go. The blacker they are, the sweeter they are. And you have to pick these individually. Red currants, you can pick by the bunch and then put them in the freezer. And then when they're nice and frozen, get a fork and knock all the little berries off, which keeps the stalks all separate. These things you have to pick individually. Now, you have to take that little dead flower head off the end of the fruit. And the best way I like them is to make a syrup out of them, which means boiling them all up and putting them through a strainer. Doesn't take very long. And then you can sweeten it with a bit of sugar. And then you've got a nice syrup to pour on your cornflakes, or Weetabix, or whatever. Excellent. You can make jam out of them. With jam, you usually use the juice. You don't want all those tiny seeds. And then we've got this, which isn't quite ready yet. It's called a Josta berry. And you can see them, they're like a cross between a gooseberry and a black currant. You pick them, and when they change colour, they should be a nice dark purpley colour. They're ready. And there's a few over here, just about to turn. There you go. Nice and ripe, the sweetest possible. And also the green fruit hasn't got much sugar in it, so they're not worth picking. And then a later black currant. You see, nowhere near ripe yet. One or two, that's all. It's a later one. Now, a thing we had at this time of year a lot, and people worry about a lot, is this happen beneath apple trees. There we go. These are all the tiny apples. Now, people get really worried when they see these and think, oh, all the apples are falling off. However, this is called June drop. And if we look at the trees, there's far too many apples set here. This amount of apples will cripple a tree. They'll actually burrow down all the branches and bring it down to the ground. This is family apple, but this particular branch is a biennial fruiter. So you don't get a good crop every year. I think we got about 5 apples last year. This year we'll be making apple juice that comes out of our ears, I think. And you can see, there they are, swelling up nicely. This bit of rain has helped no end. Okay. But this is perfectly natural, a June drop. Without it, you would have loads of tiny apples that would hardly have any fruit upon them. There. And there's one thing as well, we got the gooseberries. I moved house recently and I just saved 1 or 2 of my favourite clones of gooseberries. However, what I'd like to know from you guys, have you got any good gooseberries? Have you got any good local clones? That means plants that fruit well from this area. There's one I'm missing and one I'd like to find. It's about the size of a small plum, and it's really this very luminous yellow colour, and they are incredibly sweet. There's a good one if you can find it called Winham's Industry, which is again about the size of a plum, sweet, but that one, well, they're delicious. Look after them well, and if you've got a good clone, propagate from it. The propagation from this will be used as propagation stock, along with all these black currants, which will leave my garden as they are at the minute and go to the allotment. But all you really need to do is cut a branch off and put it in the ground. Over winter, they'll work down nicely. And in 2 years, you have a whole field full of soft fruit. And then you get useful amounts for wine making and jam making and everything. At the minute, I'll just move them over and healed them in where they stand. This border will completely change soon. But for the moment, they're doing well here. And I'll pick the odd berries that I get from them. And one more, which we'll work our way back along the garden. This is one of Tesco's pear trees. And believe it or not, there, if you look carefully, is a pear snuggled in amongst the leaves. And that's only from 2 years. First year on any apple tree or pear tree, it takes a long time to get its roots down into the soil. After that, it grows nicely. No figs this year. Well, the fig was only planted last year, so I'm not expecting a lot. The one thing you can tell about figs is they take 2 years to grow usually. Sometimes you can get them in a year, but not often. It's looking healthy though. I should imagine I'll get some next year. This area is all for development soon, so it's going to have an enormous soak away put in it. And there we go. This thing. This is a blueberry. The reason it's in a pot is blueberries like acid soil, and I'm on lime soil, so I'm always going to have to grow it in a pot. But next year that'll be in a raised bed. Full of blueberries. Only my daughters like to eat them straight off the tree. Anyway, that's today's Grow Joe. A little bit about fruit bushes and what you should be picking now. So pick your black currants, pick your red, leave your gooseberries till they get really sweet. And that's Vince on today's Grow Joe. Stay safe and keep growing.